Okay, so we are recording now. I just wanted to welcome everyone to Come to My Window 2. Um, my name is Nicole Killian, and I run the publishing initiative Nico Fontana, which is loosely invested in the queering of language, spaces, bodies. I first um, ran Come to My Window 1 in May of 2020. And I've been thinking a lot about the window as a respite, a framing, a scream, um, also a connection device for rest, escape, desire, and language. Um, I'm super excited for the four readers that are going to be sharing with you in this recording. I'm a big fan of all of their work, and uh, yeah, I'm excited to hear what they have for us. Um, as I introduce each of the artists, I will be sort of sprinkling in uh, Wikipedia facts about Come to My Window, the seminal lesbian song by Melissa Etheridge. When I had first sort of thought about this event, I I titled it "Come to My Window" and not necessarily linked it to that song. But then as I was like planning it more, I thought, oh, this is sort of like a perfect way to sort of bookend each reader, and also sort of create new context with a song from the 90s that I think is sort of funny and dark and sad and beautiful. So we're gonna get started. Come to My Window is a song by Melissa Etheridge, released as the second single from her 1993 album, Yes, I Am. This was the first song to become a hit after Etheridge publicly announced that she was a lesbian. With the driving force of gay rights, the song gained a lot of airplay on radio stations, mostly through call-in requests. Because as I said in the first event, lesbians love to be super fans. I was in a relationship at the time that was tumultuous. In my early 20s and 30s, I made some poor choices. And what you choose is what you get. I was struggling with fidelity, honesty, and what it is that makes a relationship. On the road as a rock star, there's superficial attention and adulation that is thrown at you for a couple hours. Then you're alone in your room and it's lonely. I understand why some people turn to drugs. I started writing in my room. I remember it was nice, but I can't remember where it was, Europe or America, after a show. I had a not so good phone call with my partner at the time, where out of loneliness, I sat on the phone silent. I would dial the numbers just to listen to your breath. Lee Rae Walsh is an artist with many homes that currently spends their time in the seaside town of Brighton in the United Kingdom, where slugs and snails abound and follow them around in their dreams. Lately, they are writing about queerness and the sky, making artwork for showers, swimming in the channel, and thinking about space and language, building through romantic friendship in their garden studio. They are preparing to open Molto Molto, a curiously deconstructed exhibition, book, bar, shop space that supports the B-sides and wiggly parts of artists' practice through the form of published editions, curated ephemera, and happenings within and outside of a storefront. They are very homesick.
Thanks, Nico. Yeah, I'm just gonna read from this book. So this draft is a kind of like woven web or braided stream of a few different things that I'm picking at, kind of all brought together. A vista of all these bandaged, fiery hearts, Do you remember the smell of screens? A synthetic yellowy dust, especially in summertime. The view from any window is a bit of heartbreak. I've always wanted this, to excitedly throw open French doors with long drapes, but I'm feeling too tender. So instead, an offering of poems crafted from all my tweets since I moved away from everyone I love, including when I tweeted one at a time the lyrics to Alanis Morissette's Hand in My Pocket. Love letters I write to Claude Cahun after photographing myself. Bits from poems I stuck in a Google Drive folder named Finding the Yellow, which I began after seeing gorse flower on the English coast, feeling like I could die here. Soft erotic sketches of a fantasized romance in Florida, and a poem by Ariana Rines from Mercury, which is the book I read in the sauna for the love of sweat and poetry. Heaven is you and me on the carousel swing. God, I love when I make myself get up to do something and it's worth it because of the sky. Oh, heaven, I'm not sure. I feel drunk, but I'm sober. I care, but I'm restless. I'm broke, but I'm happy, baby. I have nightmares. I commune with an angel. I dream about explaining to children the profundity of the sea. Finding the yellow. It is dawn, my torch, beam breaking gray. A poem from Mercury by Ariana Rines titled We Can Do It. Whoever you are, if you ever open this, by your light, you can keep it. By the bed for your head and arms to weigh heavy on molting white clouds. A raft on a plain in the molten sea can close your house and quit you for it. You really can stop lying to yourself. I know to suffer alone is not an innovation. You know this one too. And to divine wisdom and a pearl of blood takes art in this world. You know, it takes art and you have it. Dear Claude, it's time to drag my body into the shower. I'm sore and I just realized there's egg yolk all over my face. Earlier I felt turned on, but I cried. To look at myself looking at you, the thirst of an animal I don't know the name of but recognize. Is it possible to sit in your periphery? You, an angel laid across my lap. I turn the page and find that, yeah, you were turned on by wet kelp too. Paradise forever is a sentence that ends without ever beginning. The smack of wet palms thrashing in tropical winds. I'm wondering if it was as sexy as I remember. How is it that flowers always seem drenched? More like flowers than other flowers. When peeling an orange, the sky is warming. Is there more anticipation when humid? The image more like eruption, less like fossil. It is fixation, a constant squint in bright, blinding, hot-toned sun and dense shade. Hoses wash the sand off red legs. The baby gator croaks. The squeak of shucking corn. Let me be your misting machine. The mediocre music of cheap musicians at restaurants that serve fried crab claws as the soundtrack to heaps and globs between my fingers. Smack of your straps on those sweaty shoulders. I want to be delicate with you. Leave no crease to redden. Itchy burrs and your linens be gone. I am at home in your bath towel, damp from squeezing your hair out. Lay my head on your belly and breathe your digestive quirks squirming in my ear. Vermouth on ice with clementine twists, digging a fishbone out of your gums and playing Neil Young. Claude, I'm sitting on the muddy edge of the channel and I push my feet in the sand underwater, using my big toe to kind of suction into the muck and then slingshot earth. Glitter puffs that look like aerial tumbler pics of those pink smoke bombs. I keep using the word expanding, hoping they will get it. See me unfolding, a pocket square neatly pressed and filed away for the next event. I put a pit in that square some years ago and promised I would be back. And don't you see, every day now is my homecoming and I am immortally the one in the center of the dance floor being stroked by the eyes of each body that failed to learn mine. The slow music, I spin, I dissolve into the chicest suit. I remove my pocket square and eat the pit. Tell me, Claude, where do the good ghosts go to dance? I am your personal sunbeam, your thigh, my butter blade. A belly crease come water slide, pooling, oil shimmer slick. I pinch the skin around your big bobble bug eyes and wave a manic frond to cool the drip. Silently praying, don't get up to pee. We live here now, waiting knee deep till dawn. You ever see the impression of a deer bed in a field and want to lay down and put your head in it? In a club in Berlin, they are calling me the Victorian cowboy. Why do I always feel hotter when I'm texting in white jeans? Using a rose petal as a coaster, I tell someone my kink is the pleasure I take in mowing the lawn. In a dream, I'm trying to describe a place. I say it is like looking at someone you love. You could not hate it. Eyelids like a lemon twist, my citrus, my sour, my little golden hour. In another dream, I design a small box that you can buy at the bodega before going out. A slim sleeve like the swan filters I used to roll with. Inside, 2 cigarettes, 5 mini poems, and 3 pieces of gum. I love to be reminded that loving someone is signing up to 100 or more evolutions. My favorite silence is the one right before a body splashes in water after it's flung itself out of a tree. And then after the splash settles, and also in between locusts. The only thing I do faster than delete tweets is form crushes. I danced all night in penny loafers while free bleeding. I love the smell of leather when you left some spearmint gum sticks in the pocket. God, give me a nook. I need a bar I can smoke at. I need a good suit and a martini with a real olive. I want to be your misty cliffside, to be the trumpet vine on your porch. Claude, I'm trying my best cowboy today. Sitting on a stool, I took the whole of an apple in my mouth. The first thing to hold my queerness was the sky. I love the intimacy of knowing someone's pizza topping order. Do you think anyone else uses the car wash as a cathartic box to weep in? Last night in the shower, I forgave myself for all my bad behavior of the past year when feeling alone or afraid, and exfoliated every inch while listening to Perfume Genius. I'm deeply seduced by my friends resting. Do you ever feel like a pack of horses at full speed in a place they don't belong, but you can't hear them because they're just half an inch off the ground, raging? Tomorrow I'll try and wake earlier for the sun. It's better that way. I'm not so good at sitting still. The water is whistling out of the logs, like the air from your lungs when I pull you out from beneath me. You are a paradise. The water is our wild. We surround each other on all sides like space. I am the island you fold up and place in your pocket upon leaving. On an hour's cliffside walk into town to fetch mussels for dinner, I hold you like an omen. The gulls scream. I remember I am a Capricorn. I begin running faster and faster and dressing hotter while rotting inside. Claude, it's like 1 a.m. and I'm sitting in the wicker chair next to the tub with honey smeared across my cheeks to soothe the rash. The top of the window is cranked open, and it's one of those smells that makes you want to breathe differently. I prop my legs open and slouch down in the chair. I think about Sarah Lucas and their oversized cashmere, their yellow egg yolk tits, their pack of cigarettes. I practice resting my hand on my thigh more different. Shifting positions, you whisper, "You look so boyfriend today." Kneeling at the altar of poetry, I take a drag. Writing this list feels a bit like a prayer. Remind me, I want to hang up this sweater by the fire. Mail it to you later, housing you in the stink. Lay crooked on a blanket and watch you eat chips. God, you never told me that everything would be so embarrassing. I want to thrash. The wind picks up. I'm shrouded in smoke. I peel my carcass, like removing a citrus skin in one go. Tell me, Claude, where do the good ghosts go to dance? Thanks.
Thank you. That was so beautiful, Lee. When the song was being promoted, a portion of the song's beginnings was omitted. This was to help accommodate some radio stations that wanted an instrumental beginning rather than a vocal one. The song's lyrics describes the intense love that Etheridge has for another person. It describes situations that she is willing to endure and how happy the other person makes her feel. In addition, the song implicitly alludes to the singer's sexual orientation and activism by the lyrics, "I don't care what they think. I don't care what they say. What do they know about this love anyway?" Because of all the attention I was getting, I felt I needed to do something for someone else. I would sacrifice so many things, put myself through so much pain for this relationship. You don't know how much I'd give or how much I can take just to reach you. The chorus is a metaphor, meaning you can't come through the front door. I was telling her that we can't meet and talk in an adult fashion. We have to meet on the side and talk. And I always like a reference to the moon. It conjures up a cold, sweet image. Come to my window, crawl inside, wait by the light of the moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. The last line means that I couldn't connect with her, and I was longing to be home. Somnath Bhatt is a designer, artist, and writer who lives between Ahmedabad and New York City. His work has been shown at MoMA, PS1, Art Week Dubai, the ICA London, and Mécène du Sud Montpellier set, among other venues. Selected clients include Instagram, the New York Times, Reebok, Hyencio, and musician Nicholas Yar. He also works as a contributing editor at Mold Magazine and AIGA Ion Design. He's spoken about his work and practice at UPenn and the Packet in Colombo, and he's also served as a guest critic at Boston University and UIC. Soam believes in the power of the unseen, the chaos of myth, and that labor has the right to all it creates. It should be mentioned most of his previous work has been visual, and he is deeply excited to share a language-based poetic reading for the first time. I am deeply excited too. Thank you, Soam.
Thank you for having me, and I'm so honored and humbled to do this amidst all of you. So let me begin. The customs officer asked, "What's the purpose of your stay?" They say there are 4 seasons, but I'm experiencing a 5th one. Documents hiss, shuffling between my fingers. My face changes each time I read. The date on my passport changes with each passing touch. Could everyone change their voices to sound a little less gay? I try to see a poem in my imagination, and I can only stare at you. If I went into a spiral, regardless of the direction, there I would see your face. Inescapable, the androgynous here and now. One bird of memory, the other bird of thought. I try to see a poem in my imagination. Kaun? Ek khali vartul. ત્યાંથી એક અવાજ આવ્યો, હે દૈત્ય, તે મને જેમ તારા બગીચામાં રમવા દીધો, તેમ હું પણ તને મારા બગીચામાં રમવા દઈશ. મારું ઉદ્યાન, એ સ્વર્ગ. There are 3 brains, one in the head, one in the gut, third inside the heart. Amygdala, the part of the brain that processes fear. Luckily for me, I'm an animal feeding on poison. My carnivorous brain can't untangle itself. The gut's language to the gut's ear, to confront fear, to eat it and destroy it. The inside of my throat is a dry, empty gorge. My naveled hairs open. At midnight, my gastric juices turn into pebbles. A million butterflies bursting out of my stomach. Shattered from the inside, a terror that disassembles, a hatred that smiles. This fever strikes deep like a mallet to a drum. I ask a cracked skull to show me inside the earth, every rose, every last one. We were born in 14 cosmos, all 14 at once, through a dark thumping invisibility. The first memory hums its first note, wrapped. Oh enchantment, oh confusion, can only dead clots of ruminants staunch the bleeding hole of myself? No comment. Thank you so much.
That was incredible. Thank you, Som. Etheridge tells both in her autobiography and during the interview on the bonus DVD of her greatest hits album that out of all the songs she has written, Come to My Window is the one that surprises her the most, and that she almost did not put it on the album. She states that while she wrote the song, she did not realize what she was actually writing, and that it was not before meeting Tammy Lynn Michaels that she understood what this song means to other people. My friends were telling me I wasn't in a good place. They were saying, why are you putting up with that? But I didn't care what they thought. I don't care what they think. I don't care what they say. What do they know about this love anyway? However, at the time the album became a hit, I came out publicly. The gay community lifted me up and supported me. That bridge in the song was taken to an anthem level. It bypassed any meaning I ever put in the song and became a part of a mass consciousness. It is still a huge moment when I perform it live. I realized that I was willing to compromise my wants, wishes for someone else. The need was deeper than skin. It was in my blood. I needed to make a connection. Lukaza Branfman-Verissimo is an artist, activist, educator, storyteller, and curator who lives, works between Olone Land and Powhatan Land. Their work has been included in exhibitions and performances at Kunsthal C, September Gallery, EFA Project Space, Leslie Lohman Museum, San Francisco State University Gallery, Signal Center for Contemporary Art, Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, and Berkeley Art Museum and Pacific Film Archive, amongst others. For the past 5 years, Lukaza has been the lead curator at Nook Gallery, collaborating with over 80 plus artists, writers, performers, and musicians in a gallery located in their apartment kitchen. They most recently visioned and curated We Use Our Hands to Support, a multi-layered project at Southern Exposure. Lukaza is currently getting their MFA from Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia.
Thank you. Part 1, setting the table. I'm imagining us all at a table, maybe this long table I am sitting at right now, feeding each other long lists of poems, love letters, recipes of resistance, hot tea, pickles, time, networks of chosen family, dance parties, really sweaty ones, seawater, the most beautiful fall day, snacks, 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 and a world that doesn't rely on policing and surveillance. Sustenance, survival, and nourishment. My friends and loved ones that I haven't met yet, and my ancestors and you, and my chosen siblings and fellow kin, all at this table. Sustenance for the long haul, beauty always, even with the anger, survival, long lives, continual strength to keep fighting, nourishment, the taste of liberation, freeing them all and learning from our resilient roots. The candles are lit, let's eat. Part 2, Bridge Through My Window by Audre Lorde, page 184. Bridge through my window, in curve scooped out and necklaced with light, burst pearls stream down out my stretched arms to earth. Oh bridge, my sister, bless me before I sleep. The wild air is lengthening and I am tried beyond strength or bearing over water. Love, we are both shorelines, a left country where time suffices, and the right land where pearls roll into earth and spring up day. Joined, our bodies have passage into one without merging, as this slim necklace is anchored into night. And while the we conspires to make secret its two eyes, we search the other shore for some crossing home. Part 3, 6 things I imagine are also at this meal with us. 1, a tablecloth that is also a protest banner. 2, lots of persimmons. 3, the pictures of our ancestors. 4, warm sunlight. 5, embrace. 6, singing, shouting, silence, whispers, laughs. Part 4, until then. Meals in letters, meals over voice memo, meals in parks and porches, meals in community fridges, meals in crushes, meals over the world, meals on lunch breaks, meals in books and over Zoom lectures, meals in kisses, meals in fresh water and fresh food, meals in burning it all down, meals in baskets and basketball, meals in land back, meals in collectivity, meals in our enoughness, meals in abolition, meals in always centering Black joy. Meals in imagination, meals in natural dyed undies, meals in river, sunsets at the river, meals over a blooming garden, meals in sustenance, survival, nourishment, meals in bed, meals in the desert, meals on the sidewalk, meals in knowing another, world is possible. Meals full of pleasure and garlic and sauce. Meals with no words. Meals in saying ashe. Meals in pen pals. Meals in falling in love many times. Meals in care. Meals in multitudes. Meals in renaming and creating new language. Meals in paint. Meals in silence. Meals in learning. Meals in our ongoing hunt for the perfect underwear. Meals in always saving the scraps. Meals in the leftovers and the compost. Meals together soon and now and today. And thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm like now just like really wanting us to sit around a big table together. A song with a Shakespearean level of passion. Come to my window finds Melissa Etheridge burying her soul to her lover, letting her know that she will go and that she will go to great lengths just to be with her. Etheridge is imploring her to sneak in through the window, much more romantic than using the spare key, so she'll be there when she gets home. Amorous anticipation. Much therapy later, I realized that the hole I felt was for me to fill. But much of our lives, we try to have others do that for us. Originally, I was referring to the pain love brings when I used the metaphor, the blackness in my chest. That's where I feel my pain, where the heart chakra is. However, 10 years later, in 2004, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, my current partner asked when I last listened to my records. I couldn't remember, so while I was undergoing chemo, friends came over and we all listened to every album in the order in which they were released. We listened all the way through, and it took about 3 days because we talked about the songs and each of our memories. It hit me. Nothing fills the blackness that has seeped into my chest. I was sitting there with a huge scar on my chest where they literally removed the blackness from the cancer. I realized how powerful words are. As I craft songs, I have a responsibility. Words and music go beyond lyrics or thoughts. They go straight to the soul. The cancer changed my life. It showed me the power of intention. We're all spiritual beings, and there has to be a balance of the soul and the body. That is the journey I'm on now. Warren Jones is a Black musician, writer, and artist.
Cool. Yo. Yeah, just bear with me because I'm like really bad at reading. I just got confident with writing, but I'm way better at screaming because of music. But this is a book, I guess, from a book that I wrote that actually just got put on printed matter, I guess last month. But it's entitled Black Ether. But I guess I'll just read like little snips from here and there that I found super chill. So it starts, where's my body? I've been in a 3-year relationship, starting my junior year of college and continuing into my first year of New York. I dated a white person who had no idea what Black is. It's not that she didn't know what a Black person is, but she refused to acknowledge Black. She had a liberal blindness that rapidly spread the more validation she received. Now, I'm not saying validation is bad, but when it becomes detrimental in your ability to see the world around you. Is it not to be corrected? Anyway, I dated this white person who works her hardest to reclaim my body and my mind. Her process was intensified by the pushing of her unimpressed parents who found my general appearance lacking and my speech unintelligible. What was lacking in my appearance? Was it my clothes, the casual way I sat in their chairs? I found it funny that my appearance hid nothing, but that her brother's clean-cut exterior hid an alcohol problem. I mean, Can you speak up? He's mumbling. I can't understand him. It baffled me that the same people who couldn't understand me seemed to be fine communicating with a dog, barking in a language that they nor the dog probably seemed to be able to understand. So to please herself and her parents, she continued dressing me in approved clothes and beckoning me to talk more better and sit straight up. Looking back, the makeover I received could have been compared to that of the civil education seen in white training for niggas in the house. My body was not my own. Every change I made to my skin seemed to get the examining eye and the casual comment. I must look at you too. Look, a white suffering from racial glaucoma has never seen me, but only what they hope to pull from me. And this search for experience through me became a search for validation, even when the validation came with my pain. Um, And then I'm bad with time, so I'm trying to look at the clock as well. But I was thinking about Little Kim's outfit, like Little Kim, Whitney Houston, and Janet Jackson, and like these three women, and like where they started out, like Little Kim is like lower class from like Brooklyn, raised to fame. Whitney Houston, middle class, becomes her mom because of her mom having the same background, and like they came from like a good home and then like middle class rose to fame. And then Janet Jackson was already upper class because of Michael Jackson, and the Jackson 5 rose to fame. But then thinking about how each of their coming to sexuality was, or how their sexuality or their body like was consumed or repelled by like white audiences, like for Little Kim, because of the perception that they had of but lower class people coming from like the quote unquote hood, coming from New York, making rap music. Like when she came out the outfit, it was seen as like it was like this crazy, like it was crazy, but it wasn't crazy in the way like, oh, we didn't assume that this little middle class Black woman, but do then do then they have the and have Whitney Houston, who is like, it's like the image was tailored for why I'm actually like tailor her image for like white America. She's like a queer woman who has to live in hiding. She's like smoking weed because that is like what she's used to doing. But for white America, her appearance now had to be like this. But then she dates Bobby Brown and then starts actually just like two Black people like having a loving relationship, and then their thing, and kind of like she's like begins to break out of that like role of just being like this thing for white America to consume. And then it's like she's going to shit like, but her voice never changed, and her voice has been the same. And like it's like she still can hit those notes. She has so much amazing music, but the presentation wasn't for white America. And actually, and then that's you have like Janet Jackson, who is like Jackson 5, and they had like groomed her, and like white America loves them. And that is just like, these like Black Cosbys, and it's like Bill Cosby, like the family, and it's like another great mighty big pinnacle Black family. And then you have like the Super Bowl where Justin Timberlake rips off her top and her boobs exposed, and it's literally like if you think about Little Kim, it's like the same kind of outfit at that point. The boob exposed and the one boob not, and this giant sun nipple ring, and like Little Kim just had this like pasty, but it was like the exact same outfit, but years later, and it was done by accident, and it was like assault because she was exposed on national TV, and was also on national TV, but was done. And like it was just like Little Kim, like, yeah, this is like my fashion, and I'm bringing this to you, and I'm showing you, like what I have. And Black people have been all over it. Cool.
Thank you, Warren. I'm happy you shared from the book. I just want to say thank you to the four of you for coming to my window and and sharing, not by the light of the moon, but sharing your work. I feel very grateful. I also want to thank Print and Matter for inviting me to do this. And yeah, this was pre-recorded and I hope you enjoy it and come to the window again with me. I'll see you all soon.
Thanks, Nico. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I put this on my wall. I
This is
just
so
got good
good.
at writing. I'm much better at screaming. Warren Jones. So good.
I know. I thought that was great. I was like, oh,
It's going on the studio wall.
Yeah, I feel like it's really funny because I've never read. It's all of this whole book is like conversations that I had with people, but it's just been transcribed by a computer from audio, so it's a lot of likes. And I was like, whoa, this is a lot of likes. Like
So good.
just I don't know. So I was like, but it's kind of funny. I haven't I've listened to it, but I haven't read any of it. So it's kind of interesting now that I'm reading it. I was like stumbling.
no,
But
I mean, I think
Yeah, with
that's so good because I feel like when I re-listen to recordings of me, I realize how much I say like as just sort of a pause. I use it as a pause.
mhm,
And so then when I'm reading something that it's not there, but it's totally there in the space. So
yeah.
um yeah.
It's also so nice to be invited into a space and like share something in a way that you wouldn't normally share it. Like I always learn from those moments and feel like in such good, like loved dinner table
Mhm.
with you all, you know, it's
Yeah.
so nice.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I was just like, woo, everybody, I'm like good readers. Like, you guys sound really good.
yours did too. It
Yeah.
became a song at a certain point, which was really beautiful to listen to.
But, yeah. Well, so then what's next? Do you have to like cut it up? Do you
Yeah,
guys
I mean, I'll stop recording now. Um, boop.